Hello, I am Dr. Sri Krishna. I am Associate Professor, Department of Pediatrics, Shadan Institute of Medical Sciences. I am also a consultant pediatrician at Continental Hospitals and Apollo Clinics. I've worked with UNICEF for a long time with expertise in newborn health, quality improvement, and currently with pediatric COVID. I'm here to tell you some basic facts about pediatric COVID, ranging from the symptoms, management, and also discuss about the third wave. At the outset, let me reassure all of you not to panic but just be prepared, not to be worried but just be cognizant of the increasing cases of COVID in children. The virus knows no age or sex or a region bar, and it will definitely affect anyone who has ACE2 receptors and has not taken the due precautions. Children continue to be high risk for pediatric COVID, especially in the current wave, with the double mutated strain being more airborne and families getting affected. Even in the current wave, we see children getting affected, and children do fall sick with pediatric COVID, and some of them land up in ICU admissions as well. However, majority of the children who are affected with COVID so far have all been very mild. Very few of them would have any complications. However, the precautions which are necessary for prevention of adult COVID stand valid even for pediatric COVID. The talk of third wave generates a lot of panic, but it's also time for us to reflect that we probably are not well prepared to handle the second wave in adults. So it is right time for us to prepare for a surge of pediatric cases in the coming days. However, the third wave is not going to be an exclusively pediatric COVID surge. It will affect everyone, and even those who have had vaccination and had COVID earlier will continue to be at risk. If you look at the symptomatology, COVID, like in adults, will affect children with symptoms of fever, cold, cough, breathlessness, body pains, and all or some of these symptoms may be the presenting complaints. Most often, the children who are coming with these symptoms would have the rest of the family members also affected. Because the child is in close proximity to the mother, most likely that if the mother is affected recently, then the child's symptom most likely would be because of COVID. So any family wherein more than one person is affected, please consider the chance of pediatric COVID. Once the symptoms are setting in, please ask for investigation at the earliest after the onset of symptoms. In cases where only the parents are affected and the children is normal, there is no role of doing a immediate investigation. But on the day of the symptoms is probably the best time to investigate the child. And the purpose of getting the test done is to know whether you will need any isolation of the remaining members. The child cannot and should not be isolated until they can take care of themselves. However, the remaining members in the family, like the grandparents and other elderly members, might have to stay away from this child, and this would be possible only if you get them tested. In spite of all this, please do not panic if the child tests COVID positive. Most likely the disease would be mild in presentation and the treatment is mainly symptomatic. However, there are some cases which might worsen and also some which get into complications. After the presentation of fever, cold and cough, usually these symptoms subside in 3 to 4 days and the child tends to feel better. The management includes only and only symptomatic treatment for fever, cough, cold. If there is any breathlessness, please evaluate for the respiratory rate, which is based on the age. If the child is breathing too fast, that is when the disease is classified as moderate. Otherwise, if it is upper respiratory symptoms without breathlessness and without hypoxia, most likely it is classified as mild. Look for signs of dehydration and other causes of fever and cough. The child will be categorized as severe if the child has breathing difficulty and the oxygen saturations are below 90%. Once the child presents with mild COVID, kindly examine the child as a whole. Do not treat just the symptoms don't base your diagnosis only on the reports. At the outset, there is no role of any investigations on the day of diagnosis. It is purely clinical with a confirmation by RT-PCR or a rapid antigen test. Once the child is diagnosed, continue to monitor for temperature, SpO2 levels, general activity of the child, sleep, and these are as important as the blood tests that follow. As we are aware, the disease has a second phase wherein the antibody production starts attacking the oxygen cells endothelium, and this gives rise to the cytokine storm. And this storm in children is much less in severity, and that's the reason lesser children are succumbing to the disease in the second phase. However, keep a watch on recurrence of fever, wet cough, and breathlessness. And if these set in, that is when you will have to rush to a hospital. The indications for hospitalization include high-grade fever beyond 3 days, child being dull, lethargic, refusal to feed, poor hydration, and a general sense of well-being which is prolonged beyond a week. In these conditions, please take the child to a hospital. There are a few scenarios that all the parents face, and these relate to how do you manage a child if the parents are positive and the child doesn't show any symptoms? Well, treat the child like you would have done before and also after. There are no specific medications for treatment of an asymptomatic child because this management is completely symptomatic. If the child turns positive, that is when the treatment would start. In case the mother is positive, irrespective of the age of the child, please try to keep the child as close to the mother as possible, with the mother taking all due precautions, especially if the child is less than 5 years of age. And for any child who is less than 6 months, please continue exclusive breastfeeding as long as the mother is able to stay at home and take due care of the child with all necessary COVID precautions. Vaccination for children is not yet initiated in any of the countries, and this depends upon science, and only when the recommendations are available would we be able to take up vaccination. However, we all know that vaccines go through a very rigorous cycle of understanding the concepts and also the efficacy and safety. So we do know that in due course of time we will have vaccines for children available. But until then, COVID appropriate behaviors are the mainstay of prevention. The last component is about MISC. And MISC is a complication which we see in very few cases of pediatric COVID, wherein they present with symptoms of a Kawasaki-like illness 2 to 4 weeks after pediatric COVID. There are various hypotheses related to why it happens and happens in only some cases, but the presentation will include fever and elevated markers of inflammation, and we would need a hospital evaluation to understand the severity of cardiac involvement. The treatment will include IV immunoglobulins, steroids, and the prognosis depends on early identification and how soon we can initiate the treatment. So overall, pediatric COVID is a reality. It is not something that will come up only in the third wave. It is there around us even now. And many a time, children are probably the ones who have taken the bug and are spreading it to other members in the family. Second, pediatric COVID might be a distant possibility in the third wave, but kindly do not panic, just be prepared. And the state and the hospitals are getting ready to handle any pediatric surge. So kindly do not have apprehensions and start worrying. If there are any vaccinations due for your child, please get them done. They may not protect against COVID, but will definitely protect against the secondary bacterial infections and other illnesses. To prevent COVID in your child, focus on your child's hydration, nutritional status, ensure that they are leading a healthy, happy life. A regular schedule despite the lockdown and the home conditions always helps. Make sure their nutrition, their daily habits are all as per expectations. If you take all these care and ensure that all the COVID appropriate behaviors like a mask whenever you step out, even for a child more than 6 years of age, hand sanitization, maintaining physical distancing, these continue to be applicable even for pediatric COVID. So stay safe and keep your children safe.